Hey guys, how's it going? All right. There we go, just making sure everything's up and running. Bump, 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 bump. Check over on Twitch. Looks good. All right. Hey-o! What's up, people? How you guys doing? I am here. How's it going? How's it going? All right. Let's see. So last we left off, I was blocking out and building this this ooh la la girl. So we're just gonna keep going. So how you guys doing? Tuesday night. Headphones. I'm just gonna start moving stuff. Hold on, my kids are screaming. Okay. Hey Joanna, what's up? Making eyes and trying not to overpaint things to the point they get muddy. Yeah, I've done that before. It's kind of hard. Yeah, you saw what I did with these. I don't know. The more realistic you go, the easier it is to make them bad. Hey me, thanks man. Yay! And her head is too tall. I need to shrink it down. I was doing some last minute adjustments at the end of after last week's stream, and one of those adjustments was making her head taller because it was pretty squatty, and I think I overcompensated and made her head way tall. It's not that tall. It's tall, but it's not that tall. You know. Hey, what's up, Mike Black? How are you, man? I need to make sure I'm watching watching Facebook over there. How's it going, Facebook peeps? I'm just adjusting. The hair is just a block out, so you know how it goes. Have you guys checked out the Retrogasm Facebook group? If you're not in there, you should be. It's really cool. Some great characters going up. I love the Laura Croft that my buddy Leslie is doing. Leslie. Alright, then I want to bring these back up to where her ears are. They're like hanging down here. Hey Moon, did I manage to hit my deadline? I'm still working on it. Still going. Thanks for asking. It's a big project. I'm going to talk to, if my students are in here, some of them are, I'm going to tell you guys about it Friday. What's going on and where we're at. Alright, I do want to curve these in. It's interesting working on something once a week. Oh, hey over on YouTube. What's up? Alexander, thank you so much. I'm glad you could catch me. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Somebody at Pixelogic is pinging me. There we go. Okay. Back in business. Let's see. I still need to make the microphone. Still need to make this microphone. I don't know why she has two. Why would she have like the big one in her hand and then the little one on her headphones? I guess I have big microphones and little ones, but not at the same time. And I guess this is like a gun of some sort, like a little pew pew pistol. So we'll get that going. All right. Anyway, what I was saying is it's weird to leave something and come back to it a week later. But it's nice because when you take a break from it, you can kind of step back and take a new look at things and see where you left off and see if you were, you know, bad or not. I'll make this head wider still. So what are you guys working on? Anything cool? Any of you guys doing the retrogasm competition? I want to give some thickness to this thing. Man, that top is so high. Okay. Playing Diablo 2? Diablo 2? Not 3? You're playing 2? What are you doing playing 2? Not that it's bad, but you know. You got 3. Hey, what's up, Night Shadow? How you doing, man? Thickness. Let's add some thickness. All right. Nintendo 64 model, huh? Nice. Old school. Yeah, I hear you. Speaking of old school, I just bought one of those NES classics. Alexander, yes, this is a character called Ooh La La from a Dreamcast game called Space Channel 5. It was like a dancing rhythm type game before rhythm games were kind of a thing. So might have been the pioneer to those things. I can't recall. But this was one of the characters in it. Oh, on Warbles. Nice. That's pretty funny. I was cracking up when you showed it to me. Okay. Working on a sculpt we're going to use in a wildlife art competition. Oh, I see. Interesting. They're supposed to just be... Eyes are kind of fun, you know. There's a lot to them. Especially if you actually build them out, you know, like real eyes. There's a lot going on there. Okay, I'm gonna smooth this out so it's not so rigid, but I think these creased edges are causing me grief a little bit, and it kind of wraps in on itself. Oh, working on some mannequins. Oh, nice. So you got into his class? That's cool. I want to take his class. Might be doing... Oh, ZBrush Summit. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll be there. That's my yearly trip. So you're doing it with the cornea. Awesome. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun to do. Everybody should do it once in a while. Build an eyeball out for real, like with all the parts. Okay, I'm going to adjust her profile a bit. There we go. Her face was a little too shallow, I guess is the word. I don't know I'm doing this with my mouse, but hey. That's better. That'd be awesome. Come to the ZBrush Summit. They keep saying that they're gonna do the ZBrush Summit in a new building, a new venue, but They always end up doing it at the Gnomon school where they are at. A Superman concept or a Kid Thor? Oh yeah. Yeah, either one of those sound fun. Usually people do females, so that'll be good. Doing not a female. Not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's like the typical thing, right? With Dylan's class. Okay. I think that's looking a little better. How you guys doing over at Facebook? What's up, Garen? How you doing? Have I met any ZBrush sculptors from Russia working in the game industry? I have, but they're here in the US now. So, and I'm trying to think of their names. One of them does hand-painted textures, and the other one does amazing characters. And I can't recall their names. It's gosh dang. Because I'll have to remember. It's driving me crazy now that you ask. Let's see. Oh, you want to be a volunteer? Do it. Yeah. They do have cool shirts usually. That'd be fun. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to start doing these headphones or the hair or just what. I might make her neck just a bit thicker. The character artist I know from Russia, she's like, she goes by Fox in Box. That's all I know. But she's one of the streamers on here. I think I don't know if she's actually started streaming yet or not. If there are, let's see. Do I know if there are people who do portfolio reviews? Oh, at the ZBrush Summit? Yeah. If you want your portfolio reviewed, it's better to go to CTN, which is Creative Talent Network, or GDC, which is Game Developers Conference. So depending on the CTN is more geared towards television and film, and GDC is more geared towards game characters. So if you want your portfolio reviewed, I would suggest one of those two places, but there are a handful of people at the ZBrush Summit that do it, but not very many. The ZBrush Summit is kind of more about ZBrushers coming together and showing off their tips and tricks and things that they've learned and the way they use ZBrush, how they use it. They kind of show off different projects. Looks like she has does she have a white band around the bottom of her dress? Yes. And around the bottom of her shoes. So I'll be making that band next. And she has this Space Channel 5 logo on her chest right here. And it's funny because the rockets are just kind of hanging there on the back. They're not really doing anything. Oh, that's funny. This little gun. Okay. I need to look at I'm trying desperately not to look at non-game reference for this, because there have been some other people that have modeled her for toys and things like that, and I'm trying to, you know, stay away from that so I don't get influenced by what other people have done. I want to kind of make her as close to the game model as I can, but the game model, as you can tell, it's really rudimentary, very low poly, very game cast. you guys have a game cast back in the day? Hey, what's up? What's up, Worth? Let's see. Yeah, Night Shadow, that's a good idea. Dylan should be able to give you some ideas. Hi, Mutated. How's it going, man? All right. Let's see. Oh, hi. Anything new with you? Let's make this skirt better. Oh, yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, let's see. That's what I've been doing a lot of, is freelance contract work. Contract. Why did I push one? Hey, what's up, Art? Okay. Delete hidden. I just want a single-sided surface. And let's get... I'm just going to shape this skirt a little better. I keep all my my concepts on Pinterest. It's a good place. Good place to keep all your reference stuff that you eventually want to sculpt. But it's hard when it's Instagram, you know, if that's what you're looking at. Okay, let's... I actually want to... I'm trying to decide how I want to do that white line. If I want to do it in just texture only, or if I actually want to have a little lip on there, which I think I do. But... okay, let's see. Yes. Let's add some thickness to this. It's going to go to the inside. Yeah. Yep. ArtStation, Instagram. They're kind of the go-tos, right? Okay. So I want this line to be down. That's kind of weird. Dinosaur skulls and eyes? Sounds like a plan. Center. There we go. Okay, that's better. I know. Instagram. And you have to use it on your stupid phone for the most part. Like to post images and stuff. Complaint system. Yeah, it's crazy though, because you get the most followers on Instagram. So it's kind of like you know, necessary evil. Oh, seriously. All right. I'm going to get rid of some of these creases, I decided. Then, okay, I shouldn't have made this so thin. So let's fix it. That's better. All right. And I can put a support loop in there. Like so. Maybe I won't do that just yet. Man, you're taking all the classes. Michael DeFeo's class is great. He's awesome. He's one of my faves. He's been at CTN a couple times. Really cool guy. Knows his stuff for sure. You have to find the image URL. Oh, you're talking about like if you show the page source, then you have to figure it out where it's coming from. I don't think I've ever dug that deep. There are more game studios in feature film? Oh, they're mostly down in LA, right? Excuse me. Okay. So, for this white line, do I want to do it right now? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Duplicate. Come on. Where are you, white line? It's not selecting my edges. Why not? What's going on? Make sure we're on select lasso. Oh, that's why. Okay. That's why. Okay, let's do it one more time. Boom. There we go. That's what I want. Delete hidden. Okay. Oh, you mean for Pinterest? Yeah. They just make it a hassle, right? Pain in the butt. I'm gonna go past, then add thickness. Yeah, that works. And that's some white. Jeez, we're not gonna make it that white. Make it kind of a light gray. There. Go dance. You don't know if I want to start off with games, then try and go to film, or the other way around. Okay. So I have not done feature films, but I have a lot of friends that have, and they've transitioned. And some advice I can give you is, in film studios, they do not count game experience as experience for the most part. If you are so I had a friend that worked in games for like 10 years, then he transitioned to film. It's like he started over from scratch again. So the other way around, if you work in film and you go to games, typically they will kind of see your experience as real experience. So, but with film, it's typically not that way. Just so you know. Hey, Fix, yes. It'll finally be ready when the Dreamcast 2 is out. It'll be ready. Oh, that's hilarious. Are your messages being checked by the mods? Let me see. I'm not looking at Pixelogic, so, or on Twitch. Are you saying bad things, Art? You got a potty mouth today? I don't know. I wonder if you could show how the Z-remesh can be influenced by the guides? I did read that. Let's see. Yeah, double standards for sure. Let's see. So I don't typically use guides art. I actually, if you watch the very, I guess, was it the first stream that I did, or maybe the second when I made this? Um, excuse me. I usually get the ZRemesher to follow a major change of direction in the surface of the model more than I get it to change with the guides. And other people have had better success with it than I have, but personally I will use like if I want a ring around the eye cavity, I will actually peak it. Like I will take my Damien standard brush or the detail brush and I will peak it around the eye, so it'll give the ZRemesher kind of a peak to follow, and it works pretty well. It sticks to it pretty good. And the same goes true with like a mouth cavity. I'll peak the lips and it'll make the surface look really bad for a minute, but it will make the ZRemesher behave kind of the way I want it. And then I'll kind of, you know, smooth it out after the fact. So I did, oh, the portable SNES system? I don't think I've seen that. There's I mean, I have that little tiny one, you know, the little guy that's like this big, the little classic, and the NES and the SNES. I have both of them, the little guys. They're really cool. And I guess there's some wireless controllers out there that are not made by Nintendo, but they actually work with both of them. So I need to get me some of those. Aphex, yeah, you can. That's actually a thing. Using polygroups to make your ZRemesher follow a curve. Yeah, and a lot of people will do that as well. I haven't had as much luck with it as other people have, because I don't know if maybe it's user error. I just don't know how to use it as well as other people. Like my buddy Matt Thorpe uses it all the time with great success, and I just can't get it to not make weird polygons that drive me crazy. So like with polygroups, especially in the hands or something like that, when I'm trying to keep polygroups in the fingers and stuff like that, I will always get weird polygroups or polygons. I always get weird polygons in my mesh, like diamonds or just loose ones that don't even belong to anything. They're just like jammed in there. I don't know. And I guess people will tend to mess with that the smooth groups, kind of turn that down and use that. I just find it easier. I just you know, do what I do, man. I just use the peaks and the valleys to make it go. Yeah, Danny Mac does it in a 60-second tutorial. So it's ZRemesher isn't perfect. It's the thing I use ZRemesher for is to get me some geometry where I need it to be. And honestly, with the Sculptris Pro mode now, it doesn't really matter if you have it in there or not. It really doesn't. I like to use it still because it keeps my underlying mesh clean, but you can't really use ZRemesher for an animatable mesh. It's just something that you put underneath your high resolution mesh to keep everything smooth. I typically will work really low resolution as long as I can. And so for example, her hand, I guess we can look at the hand. This is pretty low resolution. I mean, it's kind of a globby hand, but you can see that I ZRemeshed it. And I don't know what I just did there. But this is just a ZRemeshed sausage hand. It's pretty bad. I haven't really gotten into it yet. But it's so now it will not follow creases. It will follow peaks and valleys, but will not. Let's do a little test. You guys are asking, let's do a test. Here we go. Test. Testy McTest face. Here we go. So I have this sphere, and I'm going to subdivide it a couple times by hitting apply. Then I'm going to get rid of my lower subdivision levels. And so here's the thing. If I can mask out an area. Here, we'll get it kind of going crazy. Then what you can do is do this thing called edge loop mask border, which is really cool. And it is actually in geometry. Open up. Edge loop mask border right there. And it will put a really nice edge around that mask. And then if you want to clean it up even more, you can go to deformation and polish by features and just crank that a couple times. And it will really smooth that out, right? So now if I hit Z remesh, let's see. And I'll keep my poly count at 5. And if I say keep groups right there, and this is going to stick pretty well, actually. So, okay, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is it. See this mess right here? What is that? What? That is not good. To me, in my opinion, this is not a sculptable mesh. I can't do much with that. And that will typically happen like in the corners of the mouth, in between fingers. It'll just give me garbage like this, okay? I mean, yes, the edge is really nice, but I will tend to get garbage. So what I will do instead, here, let's Control Z back out of there, okay? Control E? Is it really? Oh, okay. It requires the mesh to be partially hidden. What is that? What is that saying? Huh, I don't know. Control E was not working for me. Loop mask border. Are you... Night Shadow. You saw the Kylo Ren video and I looked like a serial killer. Yeah, you have to wear those black gloves just because you're working with resin. In that resin and alcohol, like alcohol cleans up the resin off the tools and stuff. So you don't want to get that stuff on your hands. Okay, so let's try kind of the same thing again, but we're going to use Z remesher guides. Okay, so if I do a Z remesher guide like this, whoop, right? Similar shape, then hit Z remesher, and I'm not using smooth groups. Maybe smooth groups would have helped it, but see that it doesn't really. That's not really giving me what I want either. It's kind of doing it, you know. Yeah. Oh yeah, scissors. Okay. So now let me show you what I'm talking about with this, okay? So this is the Damien standard, and I'm gonna make some peaks. Whoa, okay, let me do it again. Sometimes ZBrush likes to do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna peak it like this, and I can even come back in here on the inside and push it down. Make a valley on the inside like this. Yeah, I just haven't got to it yet, Afix. Hold on a second. Because I'm explaining something else. So hold on a second. So now if I do Z remesher with these peaks and valleys, look at that. See that? That sticks to exactly what that's where I want it to go. That's why I use it. And now I can come in here and smooth it back down. And now I have edge loops the way I want. Boom. Without those goofy, messed up faces. So that's pretty much it. Hey, what's up, Marty? Okay, so let's go back to business here. Okay, let me read your question here. Trying to achieve some hard edge surface stuff after I did the cleanest job with my Dynamesh, but then I just wanted a simple clean mesh that I can Z remesh and then subdivide. So I don't recommend using Dynamesh if you're doing hard surface stuff. So essentially what you'll want to do is you'll want to rebuild the surface at really low resolution. and then crease it, and then subdivide it. That will give you the cleanest mesh of all time. Like Dynamesh, Dynamesh wants to be messy, and you can use polish, you can use clipping brushes and all that kind of stuff with Dynamesh, and you can get it fairly clean, but you're not going to get it as clean as you can when you actually rebuild the surface. And when I say rebuild the surface, what I'm talking about is well, just like I built these clothes, I basically made a surface, you know, just blocked it out or whatever, and then drew on top of the surface with the not Z-remesher, the topology brush to make a surface. So I'll show you on the leg right here. We'll make this holster on her leg. Let's turn off symmetry, grab the leg here, and we can just draw here. Let's grab the leg. Come on. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna hide everything but the legs here. Yep, Dynamesh creates the warbles. You got it. They'll appear out of nowhere. Those ding warbles. Okay. So just so you guys know what I'm making, see this kind of garter thing right here. Now, what I would typically do is I would just use one of these loops. See these loops? I can just, you know, show that loop and just use that loop, and there I have a loop, okay? But for the sake of demonstration, I'm not going to use the loop. I'll just draw it on here because it's kind of at an angle. So here we go. So let's just kind of draw it up and around, and you can just continue. You just kind of pick up from the last spot. And it's not going to be the prettiest thing ever. And that's okay, because you're going to come back and edit it anyway. And then you just kind of close, whoops, where'd you go? You just kind of close off the loop like this. So Marty, you're saying it's not a good idea to use Dynamesh with hard surface models. Does the same thing happen to ZBrush too? It does. So I'm just pretend that this loop that I'm creating is going to be a hard resolution or hard edged mesh, and I'll show you. I'm going to draw right through those two circles, and then I'm just going to start creating squares. Well, it's close to squares anyway. Boom, boom, just all the way around. So pretend this was a Dynamesh ring that just didn't have much, like if it had warbles, you can draw on top of the mess and you can get a clean mesh out of it. Okay. So what I can do now is I can have my brush this size, tap on the surface. Oh, come on. Tap on the surface, and it's going to give me a ring that looks like that. It's kind of, look at that warbly. It's really bad. So what I want to do is I want to clean it up first. I don't want to have it look like this, okay? And I don't want it to have thickness yet, because if it has thickness, it's hard to edit. So let me back out of that, and I'm going to turn my draw size down to 1. Okay, if I turn my draw size to 1 and I tap on the surface, it's going to make a surface. You can't see it, but it's a single-sided surface. It's kind of inside that leg right now. So what I can do now is I'm going to split unmask points, and it's actually going to split it off into its own subtool. Then I can turn on double so you can see both sides. Now we can clean this up, okay? So what I can do is I can kind of line this up to the character, or the camera, like this. Oh, come on. Accidentally hit that. Okay. And then I can use mask. I want to use mask lasso, actually. Mask lasso to just mask off this bottom. Then I can use the clip brush. Instead of going around every single vertice or dot and straighten those things out, I can use the clip brush And I can just kind of line it up like this. And it's going to bring everything that's below that clip brush up to it. Then I can do the opposite and bring everything above the clip brush down. So see how it has that fall off? It's going to bring everything on that side of the fall off side of the line, down to that dotted line when I let go. So see how it's straight now? Now I can inverse my mask. And I want the thing to be about this thick. Then I do the opposite, and it will respect masking. Okay. So now I do have a warble edge right here, so then I can just move that into place. But see how quick that was to kind of make it all one thickness, so it's not warbly and all that. Okay. So now that I have that, I can extrude it with the Z modeler brush. Just extrude polygon all. And there's my garter holster thing. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. See this ring right here? This, you don't really get much cleaner hard surface than that right there. So that's, yeah, that's kind of how it was. That's kind of what I was describing. So you can do that same technique on something that you've done hard mesh. With Dynamesh. So, and I learned this technique from a guy on Eat 3D. They have 2 hard surface tutorials, and they're only $60. I recommend Hard Surface 2. It's fantastic. It's super duper good. And he goes through, and the techniques still apply to the most recent versions of ZBrush, but essentially he blocks out this entire like armor set just by using Dynamesh and like the clay tubes. Super messy, just kind of really messy. And he uses like the trim dynamic brush to kind of make flat areas, and it kind of has the volume. Then he goes back and he actually draws topology on top of those sections and makes panels out of that. And basically he creates a temporary surface and then builds hard surface on top of that. It's really cool. So anyway. So it is good to block out ideas with Dynamesh, but not to use them in the end. From Eat 3D, you'll see it. Just Hard Surface 2. I can't remember by who. I'm not going to go, like, I can't leave right now to go look at their website to see who it's by. But, and you can, yes, Art, you can edit the crease intensity for sure. And Night Shadow, yeah, Dylan Ekron's blockout. So he actually did a blockout for Mike Jensen. Okay, thanks, Afix. So Dylan Ekron used my insert mesh brushes to block out one of his characters, just to, when I was making these brushes, just to try it out. So thanks, guys. Yeah, Mike Jensen. It's really, really good. I highly, highly recommend it. It's great. That's kind of how I learned some of those hard surface techniques. Okay, so I'm going to show you what Art was talking about here. So you can see this ring, and if I subdivide it, which it is subdivided 3 times. That's what dynamic subdivision is. It's a preview of 3 levels of subdivision. But in order to reset the actual crease level, you have to uncrease everything. So if I go uncrease all right here, it's going to turn into this uncreased ring. Okay, so now if I go to crease and I change this crease level, see it's set to 15. If I change it to like 2, let's say, then I'm going to crease polygroups. Since I have the polygroup set up, I have a polygroup on the top, on the side, on the back, on the bottom. So now if I say crease by polygroups, that's what this crease PG means. It's going to, it looks the same right now, but if I actually add subdivision levels for real, if I hit apply, come on, apply, then if I hit subdivide again, you can start to see here. Let me change to a material where you can actually see what's going on here. Let's go to this Z modeler. Okay, so you can see the edge now is starting to become round. Okay, and if I subdivide again, rounder, rounder, now I have this really nice beveled edge that catches the light nicely. See that? So it's not a super duper crisp, I'm going to cut my fingers on that edge. It's a nice realistic edge if it was like, you know, metal or something that has a nice rounded bevel to it. So anyway, that's kind of how crease levels work. So I'm going to back out of that. I'm going to change it back to skin shade 4. Oh, thanks, Wilfred. Thank you very much. So yeah, if any of you guys want these brushes, I give them away for free over on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I give all these brushes away for free, the user interface and my ruler file, which my ruler file is right here. So this is a ruler to help you go back and forth between Maya. Now, I need to say something about this ruler. It doesn't work as well if you are using GoZ with Maya. If you're going from Maya and using GoZ to come back to ZBrush, because I've been using it lately, and your model will be huge inside of ZBrush, and your brushes won't quite work as well. Then if you're starting out in ZBrush and you're going to Maya using GoZ, your scale is going to be kind of off. So what I designed this ruler file for is to use with either FBX or OBJ, so objects or film box files. And what I typically use is OBJ. And if you go you use OBJ to go back and forth between Maya or say Marvelous Designer or something like that, something that uses meters, then this ruler works really well. Okay. Oh, Night Shadow, of course, man. That bar is so cool. Super cool. Okay. Let's see now. Okay, that's the caveat with OBJ is you can only export a single subtool per OBJ file. So if you want to have a whole bunch of objects and you export them all at the same time, you have to combine the subtools together, then export them all as an OBJ. Now FBX will hold more than one subtool. It will actually export all of your subtools together if you have them all shown. And where you find that is in the FBX import export right here. And I find that it's better to use FBX 214. It's a little more stable, especially if you're going to other programs to retop in or something like that. Other programs tend to like FBX version 2014 better than 2016 or 8. I don't know what they're up to now, but this one works pretty good. And if you just say visible and then just hit export, and it'll export everything that's visible, then you can import it into a different program, and the ruler will come with it if you do that. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, okay. So let's I actually want to make this a little thicker and then delete that center line. Okay. Because I do want it round. I don't really want it to be hard-edged. I actually thought I was messing with the garter, not the the edge of the dress. I do want that to have edges. Gosh dang. Okay. I got lost. I got lost in my own model. Right there. Okay. Let's do crease by polygroups. I do want that. There we go. Okay. This I want to be round. You know what? I'm going to ask you guys, actually, we have that Q&A this Friday for my students. I'm going to put up a poll because I want to ask when people want the next challenge, because the Retrogasm challenge is going on right now and it ends next month. So if I start a new challenge for the students and there's already students doing the Retrogasm, they're going to kind of cross, and people won't be able to participate. So I want to make sure that everybody can participate that wants to. So I might even push it off one more month. We'll see. So yeah, if you really want to get in on a challenge, I would recommend the Retrogasm. But it's kind of running out of time. We have a month and a half left before that's due. So we'll see. We'll see, Night Shadow. All right, here we go. Let's uncrease that guy. And we'll solo. Because I actually want to add insert an edge loop. But watch, okay, you guys, check this out. So I actually want, see the silhouette of this is pretty, it's just straight up and down, 90 degree. But I want it to be kind of round just to help the underlying surface. So what I want to do is I want to insert a mesh, or insert a loop, but if I do, it inserts it right on the surface. It doesn't change that silhouette at all. So what I can do is turn up the intensity, usually to about like a 13 or something like that. Now when I insert it, you can kind of see it's starting to round out a little bit. So I'm going to undo that. Every time I undo, it goes back and turns dynamic subdivisions back on. This is bugging me. I need to straighten this out. So let me crank up. Let's see, ZModeler. Okay, I want to do it even more. There we go. Look at that. So that'll actually add some roundness. Pretty cool. Are you taking off? All right, you guys. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys. I'm thinking about streaming on Mondays at 1 p.m. my time. So my time is what is it called? UTC -6. So I don't know what that means for you, but that is noon Pacific time, and that is I guess 4 o'clock Eastern. So I'm thinking about streaming then instead of Tuesday nights, so I can get my Tuesday nights back, so I can hang out with my family and stuff. And I want to get more people in, say, like the UK, you know, European countries, to be able to watch my live streams. They can't because they're sleeping right now. So, yeah. So I was just wondering what you guys think if I stream. Yeah. See, awesome. Because a lot of my friends from the UK, they're like, I can never catch you live. I'm always asleep. It's almost 8 p.m. Okay. What time is it now for me? It is 8:53 p.m. for me. So it's almost 9 o'clock p.m. Yep, and my kids, I typically read my kids a story, you know, right now, but I'm streaming instead. So I want to get that time back with them, you know, being a dad and all that. So I want to do that. So I'm going to change the time to probably 1 p.m. on Mondays. Okay. Here's a little tip for you guys. If you want to eyedrop a color from your spotlight image like this, and you hover over the image and you hit C, the letter C is eyedrop, you'll see that it doesn't work. It's going to grab this background color. It's as if it doesn't see it. So the way you need to show it is you hit Z to show this ring. So as long as this ring is showing, then you can eyedrop from this color. And you can just hold C down and move your cursor around. See how the colors are changing? And I want this color right here. Then hit Z again. Then grab your hard paintbrush and fill. Oh, you're in India at 8:30 a.m. Or, you know, maybe I'll nice shadow. Maybe I'll switch it up and go back and forth. I don't know. I'll have to try some stuff. We'll see. We'll see how it works. We'll see how the turnout goes. And I have not been looking at Facebook. I'm sorry. Okay. No comments over there. Hey, what's up, Clem? I don't know if you're still here watching, but hi. What's up, man? All right. Okay, I want to make this ring white again. Fill. All right. Steven. Oh, yeah. You said you wanted to ask me a question. Is there a way to project one subtool's vertice paint to another subtool of similar size and shape? Yes, there is, but there's a trick to that, and I can show you. So do you only want to transfer the color but not the shape, correct? Is that true? Or do you want to actually transfer the shape of the object as well? So answer me that, and then I'll show you the way. So you'll be working at 1 p.m. Oh, Eastern. Okay. So it'll be about 4 p.m. East, I think. Anyway, they record these so you can watch them back. Because people watch from all over the world. There's not a single time during the day that everybody can watch that wants to watch, and I'm just trying to get more eyes, I guess. Right now it looks like 81 people are watching between YouTube and Twitch, and it looks like 15 over on Facebook. So let's see, actually on Twitch, 52 on Twitch. So yeah, there's a good amount over on YouTube. Okay, yeah, it looks like there's a lot of people from India watching live here at this time. So okay, Steven, let me show you. I'll show you really fast. Well, it's not really fast, but I'll show you again with my sample shape. Okay. So if you do have two shapes that are similar, I'm just going to copy this in kind of and put it back into place, and then I'll put it in a different subtool. So group split. Hold on. What did it say? Not group. Split to unmask points. That's what I want to do. So I just wanted two spheres. One of them I want to fill with this like pink color, and one of them is white. So let's fill it with blue just so you can see, or purple. Let's do purple. Okay, now you can see the two that are kind of similar, and one is slightly a different shape, like it has little bumps or something. Okay, so you can use projectile, but if you use projectile, there's going to be issues if they're not close enough, because projectile works with an envelope, and it also works with it's going to project both color and shape. Okay, but the way you get around that is, say I want to project the paint from this one. I'm gonna make just some more, whoops, some more crazy ugly stuff. Okay, so just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Say I want to project this top pink red thing down to the purple. Okay, so what you want to do first is you want to store a morph target on the one. Hey, what's up, Malchus? You want to store a morph target on the one that you're projecting to. Okay, so you go down to morph target, which is right here, and you say store, and you want to store it on the subdivision level that the topmost level, so your highest level. You want to store your morph target at your highest level. Okay, then you can go here and make sure this one is selected, the one you want to project to. Then you hit project all. Okay, so here it is, project all. Now this is why I pulled out those two kind of horns, because they are outside of the envelope. So you can see that it projected everything, including the color and the shape, but the envelope missed these two horn things right here. So what you can do is, let's see, I'm trying to remember where project all is. It's been a while. It's another subtool. Project. Okay, so projectile. So see your projection shell and your distance. So you can mess with these things if you want, but it's kind of a grab bag. You know, you're guessing at what you want. So what I will typically do is if it missed right here, I will just smooth it out. Smooth it down so that it gets in within that envelope radius, and then I'll just project it again. Project all. Okay, so now we have this shape. I'm going to hide the original. Okay, and I also pushed them in, so you can see that it missed, the envelope missed on the inside and it missed on the outside. And I can do the same thing, just kind of smooth it out, unhide, project again, hide it again. Now they look the same. But the shape, I want the color and not the shape. So what you do now is you just go to Morph Target again, and you click on Switch. And what that does is it gives you your shape back. So now I have the horns and the dimples, but I have the color. So does that make sense? So that's how you project the color from one object to another, but without deleting or getting rid of your shape. So anyway, all right, Wilfred, thanks for stopping by, man. Okay, so let me know if that was clear enough. All right. Let's see. You click off the mesh and it didn't seem to do anything. What do you do after you draw the topology? So you have to, if you want thickness, you have to click on the mesh just once, click. And if you have a brush size, it's going to give you thickness. Whatever thickness your brush size is, that's how thick your object will be. And if you want a single-sided polygon, you turn your brush size down to 1 and then click on the surface. And sometimes it takes a couple clicks for it to work. And typically it works best if you can click on a vertice, on a dot, and then it'll work. So yeah, okay, awesome, cool. Well, you're welcome. Yep, that worked. Awesome. Okay, hour late, Weeboo. No worries, man. I'm just kind of chilling and making some accessories for our Space Channel 5 girl. You know what? I think I'm gonna make her hair really quick. Sounds like a fun thing to do about now. Oh, I don't have my water tonight. I'm like SpongeBob. When he goes out of the ocean and he's on land, he goes beep 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 beep. It's pretty funny. All right. Sorry, I'm a closet SpongeBob fan. Well, thanks, Malicus. Appreciate it, man. Okay, so goodness. Okay, let's make some hair, shall we? Hair. Okay, let's set our stroke so it's not crappy. Curve modifiers, there we go. Okay, let's try this. That's better. All right. You love SpongeBob. Oh, I used to watch it a ton. I don't so much anymore. Let me do a save. Okay. Oh, Malicus. You're gonna make me blush, man. Thank you so much. That means the world. All right. Wow. I'm kind of speechless, dude. Man, this is twisting all over the place. Twisting. Looks like ice cream, like soft serve ice cream. Look at that. Whoop. No, man. No, what am I going to teach you? I appreciate it, though. I really do. Oh, come on. Right? Right, Moon Mix? You're just like... I watch a lot of cartoons. I blame it, and I tell my wife, I blame it on my, the industry, too. The industry that I'm in. What's up, Sean, man? I'm gonna go... So, the hairbrushes are kind of interesting, because you want to draw the initial curve with a very small brush, because it gives you very tight dotted lines like this. But when you do that, you get a very small radius hairbrush like this, right? So then what you do is you come back and you increase your brush size to the size you actually want it, and then click on that curve. But then you lose your curve density doing that. You know, because it gets rid of that thing. So, Venture Brothers, yes. I'm a big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. I love it. It's like chicken noodle soup for me. Every time I get sick, like if I miss work and get sick and stay home and have the sniffles, I watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's my chicken noodle soup. The floating hairpiece should not be as entertaining as this. I beg to differ. Look at this. It's soft serve ice cream. Look at that. Okay. I think I can deal. So basically what I do is I get it close enough that I can manage it and I can start working it. What's up, Sumerian? How you doing? Okay, so you can see the curve still there. If you want to commit it, you just tap on the actual surface that you drew it on. Now the curve is no longer there. And now what I usually do is I like to split it into its own subtool, so then I don't accidentally mess up my, my base. So let's do that. So let's do split unmask points. Then I just automatically push the arrow down key on my keyboard, because what that does is it goes down. So you watch my subtool list. Okay, I can go down, 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 up, up, up on the between subtools. You can only tell it's doing something if you look over there. So, and I want to be on the hair piece that I just made. Yeah, ZBrush need more curves option. Really? I know, right? Vector with the handles, with the it's just going to make me triggered. I'm going to get all triggered. Yeah, Bezier curves. That's what I want. That's what I want, Pixelogic. Come on. Let's do it. Yeah. Total control instead of like dragging it around everywhere. So another thing I can do with this, now that they're in separate subtools, I can turn transparency on and I can see my blockout through my hair curve. So now I can get in here, and I'm using the snake hook brush and not the move brush. The snake hook is a little spongier, you SpongeBob fans. It's a little spongier, and I can actually get this hair to curl and curve and kind of do the things I want it to do. Soft serve style. So if I was using the move brush, it wouldn't be as spongy, and it would be very difficult to get it to curve like this. Yeah, the gizmo bend curve. You're right. It has its purpose. I forget about it, to be honest. I forget it even exists. because I'm so used to it not. I'm so used to not having it, I just never remember it's there. But with that, I have used it before, and some advice I can give you with that is, and I can't remember who I learned from, but it's best to draw, we'll do an experiment here in a second, but it's best to draw the hair curve out straight, then apply that curve modifier so it gives you a bunch of points all along the length of it. Then you can bend it down into shape. And it's cool because you can set how many points you want. And it kind of works like a Bezier curve. It's more like a NURBS curve without handles, where it has like influence points or knots. You remember the NURBS knots? Don't be such a NURB. That's a little character modeling humor. Such a NURB. All right, there we go. Instant. Now I want it to curve even more. I'm really liking how this is looking from the front. There we go. And I love this brush. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna every single stream when I do hair, I need to give a little shameless plug out to the creator of the brush. So my friend Benjamin Hale created the original brush, and then my other friend Chris Whitaker over at Funky Bunnies. It's funkybunnies.com. There we go. Funky Bunnies 3D, Chris Whitaker. Okay, so if you go over to his page and you go to tools and you go down to ZBrush stuff, and there's ZBrush brushes right here. This is the hairbrush I'm using. So see how it says Benjamin Hale's awesome hair curve brush, which he modified a bit. So this is it right here, and it's awesome. It's so awesome. Okay. So there you go. Go get his brush. It's great. I learned curve. Oh, really? Dude, you're not hijacking my stream. Come on. Samarian, you uploaded your stuff on ArtStation. You're so nervous about it. Oh, I gotta check it out. Congrats, by the way. That is a big step. It's huge. It's huge. Malachus, do you ever use Rhino? That's like, people who know NURBS know Rhino. Rhinoceros. Oh gosh. So you got to be super careful with smoothing. Okay. I kind of want to keep it. Sorry, I'm just talking out loud. See, what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for thick to thin. I really want that thick to thin. I want the silhouette, and I want it to go from thick, which is thick up here, down to thin down here, which it's doing, and it's working, and I'm liking it. But oh, you started modeling working in Rhino? Me? Awesome. Yep, we share to share. So you guys, Malachus, this pinch brush is essentially Malachus's brush. Same kind of thing. I tweaked it a little bit, but it's his brush. So if you guys have ever seen the brushes called Ma Cut, or just anything that says MAH in the beginning of that brush, those are his brushes, and they're phenomenal. They're so good. Honestly, I loathe the NURBS. I hate them. There was a friend of mine that worked at DreamWorks, and they were NURBS fanatics for the longest time. They barely switched over to polygons I want to say like 2 years ago, and some of them are just kind of holding on to the NURB, and not gonna let it go. They just love it. Yes, I am a box modeler. Yep, Glenn. I learned from Glenn. I learned Silo from Glenn. So Silo is a phenomenal box modeling tool, and most of the tutorials on Silo are from if you're talking about Glenn Southern from Southern Graphics. Yeah, that's so good. Martian Crow. Yep. Awesome. I still have yet to meet Glenn in person. I've met you in person though. I hope you come to the ZBrush Summit again this year. Gotta hang out. You gotta go to the. You need to go to the Scum and Villainy bar with us in Hollywood. It's so awesome. Then you get your nerd on. Geek out. With metaballs. Oh my goodness. Metaballs. What software was Metaballs in? Was Metaballs just a standalone software? So Metaballs was a thing where you actually like you essentially like model with spheres, and when they would get close together, they would kind of merge and meld. It's very similar to how the primitives, the dynamic primitives work inside of ZBrush 2018. You know, that reminds me of the Metaball technology a lot, where you have two kind of shapes and they melt and meld together. The Z Sketcher kind of works similar. Softimage, right? Oh, in Blender. Oh my goodness, Meta Mesh. Okay, that's too funny. Yeah, modeling with Mercury. Yeah, they'd get close together, just kind of go bleh, and yeah. Terminator 3 or whatever. Is it 2 or 3? Where that guy was made of mercury. Okay, let's get these bangs going on here. Okay. Let's see. Should we try flat double? Flat double left. It's like shopping. Let's see. What should we try here? Ah, that works. That'll work. Again, split to unmasked points. Turn on transparent. Whoop, I need to go down. There we go. That kind of made a warbly surface along here, so we're going to have to fix that. I might just want to redraw that because it's pretty messed up. Yeah. Oh man. I'm not even gonna try and deal with this. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. No sir, I don't like it. Let's try it again. It does. I'll show you. I'll show you how it works. Check it out. Well, I gotta pick a curve brush first. Here we go. So there we go. So there's the curve. Now say I didn't like how that was. So I can pick this thick double, tap on the curve, and now it gives me this one. Let's go wide cover. There's that one. See that? It's really, really cool. Oh yeah. No, no worries, man. People come here to learn and just kind of watch me go, and so it's not a big deal at all, honestly. Not a big deal. Let's curve that in. Then you can also extend the curve. Sometimes it's difficult, but if you get in close, see that right there where it turns that, it gives you a little red leader when you get close, not when it's a green circle. A green circle will actually drag the whole curve. You want to get close enough that it just gives you a little red line. Then you can continue drawing and it'll make it longer. Like that. So that's kind of that's better. I don't know. You know what? I'll keep it that wide. I kind of like it. But do I want it to be triple? I don't think I want it triple. Maybe just double like that. There we go. Tap on the surface. Mask. I didn't mean to mask by intensity. What am I doing? Split unmask points. There we go. Unsolo. Go to snake hook. Then just start massaging that thing around. And dude, I love talking shop, and I love for you guys to ask questions, and it doesn't matter. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks so much. I should keep you around. So here is something that a lot of new modelers, people that don't model hair very often, sometimes miss. And that is, you need to make sure your hair is growing from somewhere. Like, it grows from your head, right? Or if it's fur, it's going to grow from the surface of the skin. Or if you're me, it's going to grow from your chest. Sorry. So it needs to originate from somewhere. And I've seen a lot of people, when they make hair, they'll just kind of like I've done with this block out, is they'll just kind of lay it on the surface of the head, and it won't originate from, it won't start from somewhere. It has to kind of start from somewhere and then go somewhere. If it's short hair, the distance that it's going to dissolve is going to be short. But if it's going to be long, where does that go? You know, and then it's layered. So when I typically do hair, it depends on the hairstyle, but like for men with short hair, I'll typically put in the edges of the hair first, because that's the first layer. It's kind of like shingles on a roof. You just put the first layer down, and then you put the next layer down, and you're going to overlap it on top of it, right? And then the next layer and the next layer. Then by the end, it is tedious and it takes a long time, especially if you are doing games and you're using hair cards. Hair cards are just like a single polygon with some hair texture with some alpha on it, and those will just get layered and layered and layered, like those characters from Drake's Fortune, Uncharted series. Though, if you've ever looked at the hair cards on those characters, they've spent weeks on putting those in. So thanks, Malicus, man. You're the best. You're the best. Gonna make me tear up. So, to me, the most important hair when you're doing hair is the hair that frames the face, because that's exactly what it's doing. It's framing the face, right? So that's the part you want to get right. But for this one, her pigtails are so dominant that I wanted to get at least one of them into place and kind of see what it looked like. And you're still seeing the block out here, but that's kind of what it's going to look like in the end. I need to massage the curves a little more. I should just leave her bald with a pigtail, right? Done. And I'm going to have to pull the headphones out and make it so the headphones are kind of pushing the hair in Okay, so now we'll do the same thing, but for the opposite side. Okay. Let's do the brush again. This time I think I do want a flat triple. sounds like a sounds like a trick. He's going up for the flat triple. Oh boy. It's not good. Another way you can get rid of these wrinkles or these whoop-de-doos is just barely drag it. Just, did you see that? Let me do it again. So see how it's got these warbles and whoop-de-doos in there? Yeah, all you have to do is just kind of tug on it and it straightens them out. But this is kind of yeah, the 80s. Welcome to the 80s. And you can edit these curves somewhat. But it's really hard not to get them to misbehave. They like to twist. And they do have those new tools where you can actually, you know, come in here and twist the curves, but they're just not, they're not what I want. Sorry, Pixlogic. So I typically will just, like I said, I'll just get them close, commit it, split it, edit it, bop it, twist it. Oh, not move, snake hook. Then I just take a really big brush like this, that I can just kind of just put it into place without creating more warbles. So even though it was sticking way off of the face, it's not too hard to put it so it's laying on the face better. Hey Govind, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, man. Yep. Smack it, flip it, pull it, bop it. So that reminds me of the bop it. I have a buddy of mine is legally blind, like he's mostly blind. He only sees light. And that guy is crazy good at bop it because he can listen to it and feel it. He doesn't have to like look at it to be distracted. So he just sits and goes does it like crazy. Jealous. Jealous of his bop it skills. Okay, now I'm going to hide the block out for a second because I want to show you guys something that is really, really nice when it comes to this particular hairbrush. And what that is see how I have like these large kind of graphical hairs coming in to where the hair part is. And I can drag them down into the surface so they actually look like they originate from somewhere. But see how these two are colliding? Now I can go in here and I can offset them to make it look like they're actually creating a part. See that? Awesome. Thank you, Benjamin Hale and Chris Whitaker, for these amazing brushes. I wish I had them sooner. Chorizo? Happy accidents. People call me the Bob Ross of the 3D world. Sorry, my Spanish accent is horrible. Oh, that's right. I remember those, Apix. Oh, I think my sister had one of those, actually. Okay, I keep forgetting to look at that concept. The concept's important. See how it's got this, the bangs kind of go down and across. They don't curl up like I have them. So I'm going to need to work that. Right, Bob Ross? I just need a little chipmunk in my pocket. Have you guys heard like the chiptune version? Somebody put together a song, a Bob Ross song, like a chiptune Bob Ross song. It's so good. It's a happy little cloud, and a happy little tree. Sorry, not a good singer. It's really good. And it's very addictive. You'll be singing it. Is there a way to realign your mirror? Here, let me answer Marty's question. So Marty XYZ says, is it right to export your model while keeping all subtools without integrating them for texturing into Maya or whatever? So that's actually it's a pretty deep question. Let me see if I can answer it in a short way. It depends on what you're doing. If you're going to be baking objects, say you're going to be baking a helmet, right? So you have, say, or a hat like this. And it has maybe like some parts to it, like a bill and then this part and then like the little button on the top or something like that. Say you had a hat like that and say the bill and the top and the button, they were all different subtools. I may consider combining those three objects together to create the entire hat, but if they have subdivision levels, you will want to make sure that every single subtool has the same subdivision count. So if you have like 4 subdivisions on one, 3 subdivisions on another, and say 6 on another, when you merge them down together, it's going to get rid of all of the other subtools and keep the highest 3. If the lowest subdivision level is 3. Or if, say, one of your objects doesn't have subdivision levels and you merged it together with one that did, it's going to get rid of the highest subdivision, or all the lower subdivision levels, and keep that highest level. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. So make sure they're all the same subdivision levels, and then it'll keep it. Then you'll want, I guess a rule that I stick with is I will merge together similar materials. So like say if an object was made of leather and metal and skin, I would merge together everything that's skin, everything that's metal, everything that's leather, and have them all kind of together. That's not always the rule. It's just kind of a guide that I've used in the past. Then there's also, oh, you got to take off? All right, Mal, take care, man. See ya. Thanks for stopping by. So if that makes any sense, so I would merge everything together that you're going to bake in I guess groups. Excuse me. So I wouldn't combine your entire character together. I would only combine like objects. So say you had like an arm with a bracer on it, you might merge all of the parts to that bracer together if you're going to be baking it all together, because it depends on how you're going to do the retopologization of it to make the game character, because typically a bracer is its own separate piece and its own separate material. So you would kind of bake that as a single entity. So I would merge all those parts together. So I hope that makes sense. Oh, thanks, Malchus. And if you guys are interested, what Malchus is talking about, I do, and you guys probably already know, but I have an online course, and it's called 3D Character Workshop. It is currently closed for enrollment. I just finished up my spring enrollment, but I do open it several times during the year, and if you're interested in it, you may go to my website, which is 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter. And if you do, you'll get my free brushes and my user interface and my ruler file. And you'll also get some free training. I have some free training in there that I'll send to you via email every other day. So if you're interested, feel free to sign up there, and I appreciate it. So anyway, thanks, Malchus. Have a great night. Get that freelance done, man. Okay, back to the hair. I hope I answered your question at all, if I helped. But that question goes pretty deep. I can get into it pretty deep with that. So I think for now, I'm just going to mirror this ponytail in the back here, like so. Okay, now, like I was talking about before, the hair needs to originate from somewhere and then go somewhere. And with pigtails, if you think about it, it's yep, no problem. Malchus, thanks, man. Where do I send the check? Oh yeah. So let's do that, Moon Mix. Thanks for reminding me. I'll show you really quick. You can do it. There's kind of an Asline. Sounds like Aslan. Asline. Sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much tonight. Okay, let's go back to that hairbrush. And I think under stroke, I don't use it very often, but there's this thing that's called Asline. So it's align lazy curve to a line. So see that? It makes a straight line. Then you let go, boom, straight. Then you can commit it. Yep, I'll get to you. Oh, I'll show you. Okay. I'll get to your question right after this one. Okay, so then we can commit this, and then I'll split it off to here. Let me redraw that actually from the top. So it's flat from the top. Like this. That's pretty long. Let's get in here and pull it about that long. There we go. Okay, now we can commit it and then split it. And then I can turn on my gizmo. Get up here, gizmo. Then if you go to this gear, let me center it in here and realign it. Then you can go to this, let's see, I think it's bend. Is it bend curve? Axis, smoothness. There's one that gives, there it is. Okay, so this orange one adds more dots. This is what I was talking about. See all these dots here? Okay, and then you can adjust the smoothness right here. And then if you want to mirror the axis, I believe, maybe. Oh, no, that's the axis that the bend is down. I haven't used this for a while. So this is if you want to make it symmetrical or not. Okay. Now it kind of gives you these dots. Let's go a little bit, some fewer dots. Asline is on the way to, yep. So now I can grab these dots and they kind of work like NURBS curves a little bit. I say a little bit because see that pinch I'm getting in there? I could mess with the smoothing, but yeah, so it is limited on what I can do. I can squeeze, scale it, twist it, pull it. Dude, Malchus. Oh, you're cracking me up, man. So anyway, that's kind of how it works. And you can make it have more dots so you can get a little more integrity in there to kind of get rid of these bends. Got a case of the bends. So that's kind of how it works. if you like doing things that way and using this bend deformer, that's great. If you like it and you want to accept it, you just go back to this gear and say accept. If you don't, no worries. If you don't, you just go back to either reset, full reset, or delete. So I'm just going to delete it, make it back straight, and I'll just delete the subtool. Anyway, so there's that. Okay, now to get to the question about mirroring. Okay, so let's go back to our sample sphere thing, whatever this is. I'm gonna our lumpy headed dude. Okay, so let's just fill it with a different color really quick. Okay, say I'm gonna turn on the floor. That's how you kind of know that it's off symmetry. Okay, and I'm gonna turn off symmetry, and then I'm gonna move it. So see, my center line is messed up, right? So now if I try to do a weld, so in my menu, this also comes with my user interface. If you use my user interface, it comes with this menu, and it's right here. It's called 3DCW, which stands for 3D Character Workshop. And I just assign it to a hotkey, which is the number 2 on my keyboard. Then I assign the number 2 to my back button on my pen. So then if I do this, it just pops the menu up anywhere I want it. And I have this mirror and weld right here. See, it's mirror and weld. And where you can find that is under Geometry, Modify Topology, and it's right here, Mirror and Weld. I don't go there that often, so I kind of forget. But so I can turn on Mirror and Weld. Okay. Now what that has done is that has fixed the symmetry, but it hasn't really fixed the symmetry correctly. It added an extra line down the center, and it added an extra. Here, I'll show you if I turn. See how it has too many loops in the center? So what I should do, I'm going to undo that. What I should do is I should try and move it back to the center as close as possible. And it will always mirror from screen left to screen right every single time. You cannot mirror from right to left. So you use that to your advantage when you're doing your mirror and weld. And this will not work on subtools that have subdivision levels. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And so what you do is you push it just barely on the opposite side of the line, and then you can kind of bring it back, and I'm going to show you why. Here, I'm going to move some of these points over here, and I'm going to move some of these points over here. So you don't even have a center line anymore, okay? So then if I say mirror and weld, okay, it fixed this center line, it got it as close as possible, and now it's symmetrical, but it starts to create these weird things happening down here. So how you fix these issues is down here, you can just kind of get really small and pull these away from the center line, and you'll actually take these and push them across. So you want your mess to be on the right side, and you want your clean geometry to kind of be on the left. You can smooth it out. Then I want to pull these over. Just kind of get them away, and then smooth it out, right? Just like, I can't deal with this. Okay, mirror and weld, check it out. There it is. Symmetrical, smooth, wonderful, fixed. That is how I fix symmetry. And a lot of the times, like say, I am actually a right to left guy as well. And sometimes I'll forget to turn on symmetry, and I'm going to turn off the floor here, and say I'll be working over on this side, you know, doing my thing, making the best sculpt you've ever seen. And then I'm like, oh crap, I didn't have symmetry on. What am I going to do? I need to mirror it from left to right. Now what? I'm screwed, right? Well, all you have to do is go under deformation. Here, I'll show you where it really is. you go under deformation right here, and you'll see mirror. It's in this big giant list. It's at the top, mirror. So I just mirrored that from the right to the left. This is not mirror and weld. This is just mirror. And mirroring it works from left to right or right to left. It doesn't matter. But you want the things that you're going to use to be on the left side of the screen. So then you can use mirror and weld. And there we go. Now we're symmetrical. Sometimes it will create this little peak in the center, and you just have to smooth that out. And do I ever use the smart resim thing? Yes, I do. And how that works, the only time I use smart resim is if I've done some minor changes that I forgot to do the symmetry on, or if I have an object with subdivision levels. Because again, this mirror and weld trick, it will not work with subdivision levels. So say I have one subdivision level, maybe two, okay? And now I'm like, oh, I'm screwed. I forgot to have symmetry turned on. So how it works is you can mask this side, okay? You mask what you want to keep, okay? And then I'm going to mirror it onto the other side. And what you do is there is this smart resim right here. And the best thing to do is to actually go down in subdivision levels first. So this is my level 1, hit smart resim, and it's going to do that. Then go up a level, hit it again, smart resim. And it's going to tell you, see up here, symmetry result, full symmetry found, right here. So if your mesh is actually messed up and you have a different number of points on one side than the other, it will tell you, it'll say like 98% was found. So you know that it's not perfectly symmetrical. And sometimes that happens. Maybe you care, maybe you don't, but it's a good little thing that it tells you up here. Okay, then I'll go up one more level, hit it again, smart resim, and now we are symmetrical and back in business with symmetry levels. So there you go. My long-winded explanation of symmetry and how to fix it. All right, I hope that helps. Instead of taking it to another outside program and doing it there, because honestly, that's how I used to do it when I first started. I'm like, how do I it's just centered. I want to center it. And I'm going to show you one more thing. Okay. And you might have seen me do it with this little garter belt. And that one more thing is to use the clip brush to center stuff. So say I have this skirt and I accidentally like moved the center point off center. And what you can do is you can actually mask off everything except for that center line. Then use the clip brush and put it right on that center line and then pull it to center. Does that, it seems like I'm doing magic tricks now, but seriously, it's just make sure your camera is snapped to the center. Make sure perspective is turned off. Do not have perspective turned on because it'll mess it up. But say you accidentally pulled something off center, mask off what you don't. If you didn't mask it off, watch what happens. Yeah, it's going to take all that geometry and squish it to the center. That's not what you want. You just want this one line. You can even like mask off this one line, invert the mask, then clip it to center. Boom. And you can use that technique to straighten up rows of vertices anytime you want, really. Like see how this is kind of like, just say I wanted to have this top all aligned, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of align it with the camera like this, then just kind of boop, there you go. It's all nice and straight and clipped and whatever. I don't want that, but if you did, there you go. And you can straighten up any of these lines. So say, it just all depends on your camera angle and what you want to straighten or not. So you just kind of mask this off, use the clip brush, straighten it up, boom, and it just straightens that line right up. It's a lot quicker than say like trying to do it in Maya where you're like moving the little verts. I mean, there is a line and things that you can do like that, or or you can use like scale or whatever. you know, with the scale brush and scale everything along X to straighten everything out. It's just kind of more of a pain in the butt. But just know that with this clip brush, how it works is everything on the gradiated side, the side with the gradation, it's going to get squished and pushed to that dotted line. And so you just have to pay attention what it's going to see how it just squishes everything. It's called a clip brush, but it doesn't necessarily clip it. It should be called a squish brush. It just squishes everything to flat, right? And I got to show you one more thing with our handy dandy sphere. If I can clip stuff like this, and you can see it takes all of that geometry, and see how it just skewers it along this edge, because it's taking all that geometry and it's literally smashing it against a plane, right? So it will sometimes create these really, really thin areas. See this is like a wafer thin thing, because it will even take overhangs and squish them flat. And so you just need to watch out for that when you're using the clip curve brush. There's also this trim curve brush that works in a similar way, but it will actually whoops, I need to get rid of my subdivision levels with this one. Okay, so it will actually cut it. So that's the difference between the smush clip curve brush and the trim curve brush. So this will literally trim it. Okay, so that will actually cut it. Sometimes it won't cut it. Sometimes it'll just give you a line and it'll give you a neighbor. Come on, get straight. It'll just cut it and give you another polygroup. And then other times it will actually clip it. But as you can see, the result is going to be a bunch of triangles, just like the Sculptress Pro mode. So, yeah, right? And you can bend. See, sometimes it doesn't always work. Sometimes it won't clip it. Sometimes it'll just give you a poly line in there. So anyway, fun stuff. Fun stuff, fun stuff. Okay. Yep. Thanks for the tangent, though. I like questions, so sometimes I'll just kind of go off on a tangent and tell you guys all about it. But that's essentially how I got the flat portion of these gloves, is I used the clip curve brush, which is right here. But my symmetry wasn't turned on, so let's go back and turn it on. Clip it even straighter. So yeah. Anyway, man, these fingers are horrible. They look like sausages. I need to fix them. Sausages. All right. Let's see. So would you say ZBrush has gotten to a level of hard modeling that you don't really need a traditional hard modeling application? I would say yes and no. So I would say, in my case, me personally, I don't know the Z modeler well enough to be productive enough with it. So I know it's possible. And for some of the things, you kind of need to think outside the box. There's a lot of masking involved, a lot of using the gizmo involved. The biggest thing that's missing, in my opinion, is a simple cut brush. So if I want to cut, say, from a line to a line to a line, there's tricky ways of going about it. That you can do it, but it's not like you just, walk your way from edge to edge to edge, cutting in a new edge. That doesn't really work that way. You have to mask everything off and then cut it using a certain tool. That being said, it has tools in there that make box modeling faster than, Malchus can speak to that more than anybody that I know. But it has some tools in there that speed up production significantly, specifically the Q mesh brush. Because here I'm going back to my this, but we're gonna switch it out for a polycube. Okay, and then we'll accept it. Boom, and I'm going to show you why. Okay. So we have this polycube here, and if I switch my Z modeler brush and I switch to QMesh, a single poly, this would take you forever inside of Maya. Okay, for example. I'm going to use a poly group, and I'm just going to make these, and I can turn on symmetry, it doesn't matter, but you can define poly groups really quickly. Then you can use QMesh and say polygroup all, and now you can do stuff like this, right? You can make angles, you can push this, whoops, let's do single polys now. Single poly. You can do stuff like this, and you can do stuff like push it all the way through until it's a hole. Doing stuff like that takes a long time in traditional box modeling programs. It's just, there's things in here that significantly speed you up. But at the same time, if I want to just, you know, insert an edge from say here to here, it doesn't work how you think it would, right? It's going to do something like that, but it's going to create these, you know, these other curves, these support curves. It doesn't just make an edge hanging out in the middle of space. Also, if I want to extrude that curve, it doesn't extrude it in a way that you would think it would. It does a wedge like this. You know, it's not going to give you a single-sided edge that comes out like a, what is that called? Manifold, non-manifold geometry. It tries to keep everything watertight, as it were, as you model. So there's just some things that you need to keep in mind when you do some Z modeling in here. That you, if you're used to box modeling in other programs, you might expect it to act a certain way, and it just doesn't. So then you just need to figure out the workarounds and how to get around it, because things like the Q mesher are going to speed you up so much that it's worth learning the workarounds for the other things. Does that make sense? Anyway, I hope that answers your question. So yes, there have been people that have really taken a liking to hard surface modeling inside of ZBrush. Also, the radial symmetry is insane. Just doing radial symmetry for gears and wheels and all sorts of stuff like that, it just works extremely well, especially with the new insert primitives that 2018 gives you. You turn on radial symmetry with insert primitives, and it's a whole new thing. Right. Yeah, it's very similar to Modo. Yep. Oh, and live, yes, thank you, Lee. And with live Boolean is on a whole different level, because it works. Traditionally, Booleans in other programs will just crash, and it will just, it's kind of one of those things that you just stay away from because you know it's going to crash. And you know, you will get crashes in ZBrush occasionally, but not even nearly as close as you would with other modeling programs. So traditionally, I would stay away from Booleans, but with live Boolean, oh man, it is a whole different ballgame. It is just so good, especially if you want to put keys into your models. You know, if you're doing like toy manufacturing and stuff like that, and you're trying to cut up your models and make keys where they can go back together after you've printed them or manufactured them, it is insane. It is really nice. So, yep, mesh fusion, yep, all that stuff. Yep, in Max crashes, Booleans all the time. I don't know how Modo is, I don't know how Blender is, but it's quite stable in ZBrush. Oh yeah, it's called Mesh Fusion in Modo, that's right. I have not messed with it, honestly, so I would not be the person to ask about that. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. Looks like we We did make some progress on the hair, but this was more of a tutorial session than anything. But I appreciate you guys asking the questions. I really do. I think I might add some stuff after the stream. I might add that little gun. Let me see what it looks like. Maybe I can build it really quick with hard surface. Man, it's kind of nothing to it. There we go. It kind of looks like this. It's like a George Jetson gun. Oh man. Okay, we'll see what we can do really fast. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you hanging out with me and spending your Tuesday night on the stream. Okay, here we go. Insert multi-mesh. Let's start with a sphere. Okay. And just like I always do, split unmasked points. I might... You know what I'm going to do? I want it symmetrical so I can use symmetry. And what you can do is... I'm going to go to that sphere, but I'm going to replace it and put a sphere down here. And make the gun down on 0, 0 down here. And to do that, I can just make the gizmo appear and then just hit polysphere. Okay, except for I want it to make the polysphere down here. So what I need to do first is put the gizmo down there. So let's cancel out of that. And then you just push this home button, this home, and then it moves it down there. See that? Or I can also create a new one. The typical way to do it is to move the gizmo down there first, then hit the gear, make the object, then you're done. Okay. Back to Gizmo 3D. I don't know why. Okay. And I'm going to solo this, turn the floor off. And I don't know why it's giving me... Sometimes the little things will show up lightly. So I might... It's hey noob, it's Space Channel 5. That's what the character's from. It was a Dreamcast game back in the 90s is what she's from. So let's see here. I kind of want to use the project primitive stuff, but I'm scared to because I'm kind of intimidated by it. So, but I think it would work for this. Let's see. I want to. It wasn't 90s? What was it? Sure it was. Yeah, man. It was 90s. I'm looking it up. December 16th, 1999. It's still 90s. Hey, what's up, Cody? How you doing, man? Yeah, you're right. It's barely 90s. Yep, the very last year. Still counts. It's still in that bracket. Oh man. All right, I'm trying to remember. There's too many cones. Gosh dang it. The purple. It's the purple one. New surface. There we go. I just want to be able to see the surface I'm making. There we go. No, I don't want to. I don't want a torus. I want a cylinder. All right, I haven't used this enough to realize what I need to do here. That works. It's just a cone. Cone of influence. Man, alright, I'm just gonna have to do this a different way. It's kind of cool though, right? Whoop, whoop. That's pretty cool. But, yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me struggle. Alright. Let's see here. Has a couple of little spheres, and then this thing, and then this handle. So this will be easy. I'm just trying to make this gun. Just a simple little gun. With the cones, yeah. I was gonna try to make the flat cylinder that goes down kind of into the barrel of the thing. Unsuccessfully, as it were. I just don't know it well enough. So this is a lot faster for me. Whoops. Okay. Cone. See, much quicker. Oh. Okay, now I forgot which way was up. Okay. Just gotta make sure I'm drawing it the correct way. Whoops. I need to commit that. Okay. Then I'm going to make the handle. So this is my own brush. This is a insert multi-mesh brush that I made. And I made this cylinder specifically for purposes like this. So you'll notice that I don't have any subdivisions down the length of the thing. And that's because I want to create shapes like this, like cones and things. Without, if there were subdivisions down the length of this, I would have to like edit every single one, or I'd have to delete them. You know, it's just much easier if it's just I have a top and a bottom and that's it. So that's why I created the cylinder. Also, you'll notice it doesn't have poles. It's a quad. It's a quad cylinder, and that works well for sculpting. If you wanted to subdivide something that has a pole, it's going to pack that pole dense with geometry and sometimes make ZBrush crash. So this is the way to go, guaranteed. Quad cylinder. And you'll also notice it's pre-creased. I have a crease around the edge, so when I draw it, it already has that crease on it. Draw it when I make it come out. So there we go. Quick gun. It looks like a baby toy. I'll have to mess with it some more. Baby toy. All right. This one's kind of tricky because it's just kind of a thing. Kind of a, I don't know. You guys remember Buck Rogers? It's kind of a Buck Rogers thing. It's just a element hanging out the back. All right, let's go. Let's get rid of this crease on this one. Crease. Edge loop complete. Get rid of it. Oh. Come on. Go away. There we go. Yeah, something like that. Pew pew. Now I need to make an actual barrel in there. Hey, Beefcake. Oh, your Maya just crashed. Oh, that sucks. Hope you didn't lose much work. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something with this. Not that. This. So if I make this its own polygroup, and I want to inset that with ZModeler, if I want to inset, you inset region. If I say inset each poly, it's going to do this. That's not what I want. I want inset region and polygroup all. Then it does this, but look what it does. It makes kind of this weird square. Marvin the Martian. So since it's quads, that's how it insets. It's not good. So instead, what I tend to do is I will insert. I'll use insert edge, and I'll insert a single edge loop. This is the workarounds I was talking about, right? Not inset polygroup. Here, let's go. I'm gonna turn the Dynamesh off. Okay, and I have this intensity turned up. I don't want that either. Then I'll just, oh come on, drag this. You want dynamic subdivisions off. And drag it close to the end here. All right. Hey, what's up, Rob? All you guys are showing up at 10 o'clock, man. I'm about to wrap it up. But thanks for coming anyway, though. So I want to transpose the polygroup all. Okay. So I click on this. Now I can alt-click the center. And then shrink it. And that's how I get it to be a circle instead of a square, instead of insetting it. Modulator. Yep, you're holding me hostage. Now I can do extrude, polygroup all. Push it in. Yeah, it's going to go like that, but then I can transpose it to shrink it down. Move. Something like that. Yeah, just like what, just for fun, right? But now I want to come in and I actually want to, I'm going to add some support edges. So when I subdivide this thing, it doesn't, well, yeah, I can do something like that. I don't know. But I'm going to take it to the next level eventually and add like a trigger and, you know, make it look like some futuristic thing. Make it actually look like it's a barrel instead of a toy. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Pew pew. Let's get this color and fill it. At least fill it with the color. There we go. I'm going to duplicate this because I want to keep it down at 0, 0, but I also want to put another version of it up on her hip. Oh, come on. Look at it. It's dodging me. Oh, gosh. I'm going to turn off symmetry. It's like going the opposite way. Silly. There we go. Yep. Earth-shattering kaboom. I miss those cartoons. Gosh dang it. And then we can hide this one. Oh, jeez. I hit everything. Hide just this. There we go. All right. That's a good stopping place, I think. Let's get a good screenshot up. I still need to build the 2 microphones. I don't know why she has 2 microphones, but she has this one in her hand and then this one on her headset. So 2 microphones. Yeah. And this the thickness around her dress is a bit too thickness, and she needs a belly button, of course. And that label on her top that says Space Channel 5 and the label on her microphone. And I do want to thicken up the white on her shoes. See how thick it is? It's kind of double the thickness I have here. And then add some, I want to add some thickness to these gloves so it looks like her arms are actually inside the gloves. And then, yeah, that was a good drum break. Anyway. Thanks, Moonmix. Okay. So, yep, tonight was tutorial night. We did less modeling, more tutorials. So, we talked about how to fix symmetry. We talked about, yeah, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So, thanks for the questions tonight, you guys. I'm always happy to answer them. Anyway, let's see. How do I make the border in ZBrush smaller? It's almost like, I don't know what you're talking about. The border of what? Oh, thanks, Joner. Always a pleasure. It's fun stuff. So, and you guys know, next Monday I'm going to be streaming at 1 p.m. on Monday. I'm going to switch to Mondays because I decided I want to spend more time with the fam at night. My wife's tucking the kids in right now instead of me, so this bedtime's kind of my time with the kids, and you know, and there's my shows on and stuff like that. So not that I don't like hanging out with you guys, but I want to shift the time up so I can also reach more people. Like there's been a few people in like say the UK and stuff like that want to catch me live that can't because they're sleeping. I mean, they could if they woke up at 4 a.m, but let's see. Oh, let me show you something I fixed. Let me show you something really quick. I'm going to save the block out because I think you're talking about I'll show you. So if you go get my brushes, user interface, and ruler file from 3D Character Workshop, nice segue, it will come with my ruler file, and you can use it to maximize the background. And I'll show you. So if you hit comma, if you put the ruler in the right location, it'll show up right here in your light box. If you, let's see. So for example, say I had this menu open, okay? And I double click on my ruler file and it will reset everything. It'll get rid of my character. That's why I saved it. It won't get rid of your image, but it'll get rid of your character. So now my real estate is small because I had this shelf open. And now if I close this shelf, close it, you'll see that this border is pushed in. So I don't have that real estate on the sides anymore, right? So to get that back, what I do is I just double click on my ruler file again, and then it maximizes the real estate and fixes those borders. Is that what you're talking about? I think that's what you're talking about. So that's what I would do. And another thing you get with this ruler file is it defaults to the Skin Shade 4, which is a good material instead of using the, you know, the red wax or whatever. And it also takes away that gradient on the background that's kind of annoying to me. So those are the things that you can use this ruler file. It's not just a ruler file. And I've also set this grid to be at 0, 0. Typically the grid is set to like one side of your model and the back side of your model, but I like it centered. And it's also lined up with the tick marks on the ruler. If you can see that, it's kind of hard to see. But this is a centimeter ruler and every single square is set up as a centimeter. Or, you know, you can think about it as like 10 millimeters. So here it is, my time zone is mountain time, which is, I believe it's -6 UTC. Is it UTC? -6. So Right now, it's 10:20 p.m. at night, Mountain Time, my time. So, anyway, there you go. I hope that answers your question. All right, guys. We will catch you next Monday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which is actually noon Pacific Time. And I believe that is 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So I'll see you guys then. You didn't notice that with the grid and the marks lining up? Yeah, I spent a lot of time on this file, setting it up, getting it all lined up just right. And you can see that the grid is lined up right with the top of the ruler. And the back of the ruler is lined up with 0, 0. So the ruler starts at 0, 0 and moves forward. So, and I built this ruler in Maya. So if you look at the grid of the ruler, like the actual geometry of the ruler, the geometry is also lined up with the tick marks. So, 3 o'clock Eastern. Thank you. Oh yeah, I'm an hour behind. Thank you. Jeez me. Yep. So anyway, you'll see the grid is lined up with the tick marks as well as the background grid. It's all a thing, and it's all to work with Maya and that kind of stuff. So anyway, thanks again for watching the stream tonight, guys. I appreciate it, and I will see you again next week. Take care. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. See ya.